Brace yourselves, Bears News Fan Report family. I've got a tantalizing development brewing in Chicago's trenches, and you'll want to stick around for every electrifying detail. But before we dive in, do us a favor. Smash that like button. And subscribe to Bears News Fan Report so you never miss our insider scoops and wild speculations. Now, picture this. The Bears' defensive line, already brimming with youth and promise, is on the cusp of a seismic shift. Whispers started circulating during voluntary workouts that a seasoned veteran, one with a laundry list of Pro Bowl nods and Super Bowl rings, might be suiting up at Halas Hall. Could this be the missing piece to transform our front into an impenetrable fortress? Is it possible that General Manager Ryan Poles has unlocked a hidden gem that'll mentor the rookies and elevate the entire unit? To set the stage, remember the struggles of last season's defensive front: inconsistent interior pressure, middling run defense, and the nagging worry that our rising stars needed a mentor under the bright lights of the NFL. Enter the rumor mill's VIP, a player whose career totals include multiple All-Pro selections and 2 Pro Bowl appearances, someone who terrorized opposing offenses from the heart of the D-line. Fans initially balked at the idea. Was age going to dull his edge? But those concerns began to dissipate once his contract details surfaced. A 3-year pact worth $43.5 million with fully guaranteed money that signals the Bears' absolute belief in his late career impact, TalkSport. From What Insiders Are, saying this veteran was released earlier this spring, only to be scooped up within hours by Chicago. Imagine the scene. The press conference room buzzing, cameras flashing as the name finally dropped. Yet, here's the twist. We're still holding off on dropping that marquee name because I want you to feel the suspense, the appetite for revelation that makes moments like this unforgettable. Let's rewind to his days in Atlanta, where he famously anchored a defense that punched above its weight class. In seasons past, he routinely generated pressure rates in the top 10% of all interior defenders, using a low center of gravity and hand technique that coaches drooled over. Even after battling through a nagging injury in 2023, he bounced back to register multiple sacks and disrupt opponents' game plans. Proof that his motor and technique remain elite. Bear goggles on. Could this blend of grit and savvy be exactly what our young linemen need in their corner? Could his presence alone shrink the learning curve for your favorite second-year talents? And let's not overlook the narrative arc here. The hero's journey. Our mystery veteran arrives to answer the call, stepping into a locker room ripe for transformation. He's not just a player, he's a cultural architect, the kind of high-character leader whose influence extends beyond X's and O's. Picture him in the film room, breaking down opposing guards for rookies like Shamar Turner and Gervon Dexter, instilling championship habits play by play. Some insiders believe this could catalyze a defensive renaissance, turning a once porous front into an elite unit that wreaks havoc on game days. But let's speculate a bit further. Could this signing embolden the Bears to pivot their draft strategy? If the interior feels secure, might Ryan Poles invest earlier picks in pass rush specialists or a shutdown corner, trusting that trench warfare is already covered? Is there a scenario where this veteran's contract structure, backloaded money, roster bonuses, or performance incentives gives Chicago the wiggle room to chase additional free agents next year? Every cap sheet tells a story, and this one could read like a blueprint for sustained contention rather than a one-off gamble. Here's the real kicker. When the dust settled earlier this week, the name on everyone's lips wasn't a rookie or a homegrown star, but the seasoned defensive tackle we've been hinting at. Yes, Chicago brought in none other than Grady Jarrett, the once dominant anchor of the Falcons' interior front, on that 3-year, $43.5 million deal. But this revelation is just the opening act. How will he mesh with Montez Sweat's edge? Rush! Will the synergy between Jarrett's veteran savvy and our young core produce the push we've craved? As we continue to peel back the layers of this blockbuster move, remember the questions that keep us up at night. Could Grady Jarrett's return to form spark an identity shift for the entire defense? Is it possible that this singular addition vaults Chicago into the upper echelon of the NFC North? Fans are already buzzing, analysts are recalculating their projections, and here on Bears News Fan Report, we're just getting warmed up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Bears News Fan Report so you're locked in on every blockbuster move and inside scoop. Picking up the pieces, let's dive straight into the financial chessboard that Chicago just set up by signing Grady Jarrett. On paper, a 3-year, $43.5 million contract with fully guaranteed money paints a picture of unwavering confidence from Ryan Poles' front office. But flip to the cap sheet and you'll see an intricate balancing act. Jarrett's deal carries a significant signing bonus amortized over the life of the contract, which pushes a sizable cap hit into 2026 and 2027. Could that backloaded structure be the key to preserving flexibility in next year's free agency frenzy? Some cap strategists speculate that Chicago deliberately designed the deal this way to avoid hamstringing their ability to chase an impact edge rusher or a marquee corner in 2026. On the field, projections hint that Jarrett will operate in a 3-man rotation up the middle, sharing snaps with prospects like Tyreek Stevenson and 2024's third-round pick, Tyquan Thornton. Early practice reports indicate Jarrett could log around 55% of the defensive snaps, allowing him to stay fresh deep into November's toughest matchups. Could this planned workload management extend his peak performance window? If Jarrett maintains his Pro Bowl caliber pass rush win rate of roughly 12% on interior snaps, those rotational minutes might still yield north of 8 sacks this season, an astonishing figure for a tackle who's doubled as a 2-gap run defender throughout his career. But beyond crunching numbers, let's explore the human side of this signing. Jarrett's reputation as a film room zealot precedes him. Accounts from Atlanta teammates describe him leading voluntary breakdown sessions, teaching leverage angles to younger linemen, and even offering off-the-clock nutrition tips to boost recovery. Now transplant that leadership into Halas Hall. Imagine a scenario where second-year guard Darnell Wright, fresh from a rocky rookie campaign, picks Jarrett's brain about hand placement and punch timing. Some insiders whisper that this mentorship alone could shave months off the learning curve, accelerating Wright's development into a mauling force. Could we see Wright emerge as one of the NFL's most improved offensive linemen by Thanksgiving? Swing the lens back to defense and the ripple effects become even more tantalizing. With Jarrett commanding attention inside, edge rushers Montez Sweat and Joseph Osai might find lanes to wreak havoc off the edge. Picture Sweat, freed from constant double teams, darting past right tackles for game-changing strip sacks. Could the synergy between Jarrett's interior push and Sweat's outside speed create one of the league's most feared front sevens? Some analysts are already bullish, projecting the Bears to climb from 21st to inside the top 10 in total defensive pressure rate. If that materializes, Chicago could turn close losses into comeback wins, shifting the entire season narrative. And what about the ripple into draft strategy? If Jarrett indeed solidifies the interior, we might witness a bold pivot in the 2026 draft board. Imagine the Bears trading down from their mid-first-round spot to accumulate extra picks, trusting that Jarrett's veteran savvy keeps the middle of their D-line formidable. Could Chicago land a blue-chip cornerback or a dynamic pass rusher? With those extra selections? The possibilities are endless, but they all stem from this one seismic addition. Yet, we must temper our excitement with a dose of reality. Jarrett will turn 31 early in the 2025 season, and history shows that even the most durable linemen can succumb to the grind. If a nagging shoulder or knee injury sidelines him for a few games, the Bears' depth will be tested. Could a mid-season, Absence force polls to scour the waiver wire or burn cap space on an emergency fill-in. That scenario underscores the gamble inherent in investing big in a player entering his 9th season. At the end of the day, Grady Jarrett's arrival represents more than just a new face on defense. It symbolizes Chicago's unwavering commitment to contending now. From strategic cap structuring to snap count wizardry, this move is layered with foresight and ambition. But the ultimate question remains. Will Jarrett's blend of talent and leadership transform the Bears into a defensive juggernaut capable of ending decades of frustration? What do you think? Are we looking at the dawn of a new defensive era in Chicago, or is this simply an expensive experiment destined for headline fodder? Personally, I'm fired up at the thought of Jarrett's swagger igniting this locker room and turning our rebuild into a legitimate run for the playoffs. I can't wait to read your takes in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Bears News Fan Report, and ring that notification bell so you're first to hear our next analysis. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Bears.